And George Phillips is going to go ahead and bring out our first fighter for the first pro bout of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our professional portion of tonight's card. Our first bout takes place in the Pinnacle Fighting Championships 145-pound weight division. It is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds and is brought to you by EAS Roofing and the Rehab Center. Introducing your combatants. First, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Tobias Taylor.
And Rick, a guy that I've been excited to see make his professional debut ever since we found out after his last fight that would be his last amateur fight. Tobias Taylor, the younger brother of experienced professionals Taiwan Howard and Torrance Taylor, now makes his professional debut here at Pinnacle FC11.
Yes, the younger brother to very, very well-known pro fighters looking to make his pro debut here.
And Tobias Taylor actually said this was the easiest weight cut of his life and also gets the added benefit of an extra day to recover. Of course, fighting in Ohio, you have those same-day weigh-ins of the fight, and now gets the added benefit of being able to weigh in the day before, rehydrate, get his body ready, and now said this is going to be the best Tobias Taylor that you've ever seen.
Yes, not being depleted and having that day to recover is a world of difference for these fighters.
And I will say Tobias had a very, very impressive amateur career. 6 wins, only 1 loss, but his last fight, man, he put Adley Edwards out cold, and one of the most impressive knockouts I've seen on an amateur level. And Adley Edwards actually, coincidentally, recently dominated former Pinnacle featherweight champ Rich Canalina. So Adley Edwards, no slouch inside of the cage.
No. Well, and this is the baby brother of 2 very aggressive strikers. So I know as far as my baby brother goes, two mean older brothers makes a tough baby boy. So
and said he's been competing all his life, from wrestling tournaments and grappling tournaments, Muay Thai fights, kickboxing fights, just the 7 amateur MMA fights, but he said he's more than ready to make his professional debut here tonight. Has tons of experience in combat sports under his belt.
Yeah, and I watched him hitting the pads in the back. Kid looks dangerous. He's definitely no slouch.
And as I mentioned, I think in the preview leading up to this, I hope this one turns into a game of rock'em sock'em robots between these 2 guys who are going to stand in there and trade, hopefully.
Well, you know what? Chris Mitchell is no slouch himself. I mean, he's a striker, very, very resilient striker. So it's going to be a war. I'm very excited for this debut. They both have something to prove.
And Taylor makes his way into the Pinnacle cage for the first time here, and George Phillips is going to bring out his opponent.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, please welcome Chris Mitchell.
And Rick, Chris Mitchell, the Pinnacle FC lightweight champ, making his pro debut here as he drops down to the featherweight class, and said that he's excited because this is the first time that he actually gets to fight a guy his size.
Yes, Chris, I mean, he's been a facet of the Fight Club family for a long time. He's been there to work with all these guys, bigger, smaller than him, and I think right now this is his time to shine. This kid, he told me once, Rick, believe in your hands. And I'm going to say that back to him. Chris, believe in everything, because you got what it takes, buddy. And I want to see him do great things.
And we're going to take a look at the tail of the tape here between these 2 debuting featherweight fighters.
Very similar guys, very similar builds, both strikers with a minimal wrestling, background. These guys look like they're going to go out there and bang. I mean, Chris has a small reach advantage, a little bit older. Age comes with experience, so maybe that'll work in his benefit.
Right, Chris Humes Mitchell, 4 years the elder of Tobias Taylor here in this featherweight matchup, and said that he has actually changed up his striking coach, now training with Master Whitefang.
If you also look in the corner, I mean, you see Justin Steve, Carmel Worthy, Mark Cherico. I mean, all very well-known names in the Pinnacle family, and that's a hell of a team to have behind you.
Yeah, Fight Club Pittsburgh is definitely the most successful camp in Pinnacle FC history, but Tobias Taylor, his opponent, looking to pull, I guess, the upset over the hometown favorite here. And Philly Chris, as they call him, said that he was the best fighter on that Pinnacle FC 10 card that he fought back in May. Not only the best fighter on that card, but the best fighter in the area, and definitely does not lack in confidence.
No, he does not. A very confident kid. He definitely excels in his striking, especially the boxing aspect of it. His ground game, there were some holes in it early on in his career, but he has the right team to fix that gap, and hopefully we'll see those improvements in this pro debut.
A quick pause here from Mitchell. Now both fighters are inside of the cage, and George Phillips is going to give us our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds and takes place in the Pinnacle Fighting Championships 145-pound weight division. This professional contest is sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Your 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system: Todd Kruska, Andy Atkins, and Kevin Armstrong. And once the cage door locks, your referee in charge of the action is Chip Snyder. This bout is being brought to you by the Rehab Center and EAS Roofing. Introducing your combatants. First, fighting out of the blue corner, this mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighing at 144 pounds. As an amateur, 7 bouts, 6 victories against 1 defeat. Tonight, he makes his professional debut inside this cage. He represents Rising Dragon MMA and hails from the rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio. Please welcome the Freight Train, Tobias Taylor. His opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing at 144 pounds. As an amateur, 6 bouts, 4 victories against 2 defeats. Tonight, he makes his professional debut inside this cage, representing Fight Club Pittsburgh, originally from the fighting city of Philadelphia, now living and fighting out of the steel city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Chris No Brotherly Love Mitchell. 2 debut fighters, so someone's O has got to go.
George Phillips gets us set here. Third man in the cage is going to be Chip Snyder. Chris Mitchell in the blue and yellow, Tobias Taylor in the black. Debut featherweights here at Pinnacle FC11. Rick, this one is going to be good.
It is, and a shout out to Chip tonight, doing a great job.
See Mitchell, the southpaw, sets up against the orthodox fighter Tobias Taylor.
Tobias coming in early, being the aggressor, coming forward. Nice quick hands. A nice exchange dropped. Mitchell drops him with a straight right, or I'm sorry, straight left.
And Tobias already was faking that shot early in the first round, which is something that surprised me a little bit. Mitchell now has the clinch up against the cage, double underhooks with that body lock.
Okay. Chris looking for the takedown with the leg pick. Tobias staying composed, looking for an opportunity, throwing a couple little straight to the face there.
As you see Tobias with that whizzer on the right arm.
Reversal for Tobias.
Nice job by Tobias Taylor getting his back off the cage.
Oh, nice tight striking by Tobias.
Little left hook there lands from Tobias Taylor on the release. And we're back in the center of the cage here.
Tobias looking a little stiff. Chris moving nicely.
And Taylor was ranked the #1 amateur featherweight in the state of Ohio heading into his professional debut.
Nice body shot from Tobias.
The kicks here are coming fast and furious from Tobias Taylor.
They are. Nice.
Inside leg kick
nice
there.
Return inside leg kick. A couple flurries there from Tobias. Nothing finding its home.
Tobias throws a couple knees there. Mitchell still stalking, and Mitchell looks to be the bigger guy in this fight.
Chris definitely looks to be the bigger guy. A little bit more relaxed. Tobias seems to be a little tense.
Good footwork here as Chris Mitchell on his toes in this fight.
Mitchell really looks to be seeming to be looking for an opportunity. Tobias kind of like looking for the counter strike as well.
A little side kick there from Tobias Taylor, nothing doing.
Little Superman punch from our boy Chris here.
Under 3 minutes here to go inside the first round. 5-minute rounds here in this professional contest.
And this is their debut pro fight.
Tobias throws a head kick, a little axe kick there.
Tobias getting a little wide and unconventional.
And you see that a lot from his brothers, Taiwan Howard and Torrance Taylor, but I don't think I've ever seen that from Tobias.
No. Nice front kick.
Chris Mitchell stuffs that takedown. That's going to be important here, as against Treg Wells in May, he had a tough time staying off of his back, still won the fight. But
and you'll notice the footwork of Mitchell. He's really doing a very well job of staying out of range.
That right hook.
Just right out of the way. I mean, he's just staying right out of reach.
And the boxing of Chris Mitchell here is fantastic.
Yes, the head movement, footwork. More aggressive. What a show of sportsmanship.
Mini reset here. Under 2 minutes to go. This featherweight bout. You can see both of these guys. I mean, these guys don't look like they're debuting professionals. They're both experienced guys who have been prepared for this since the first fight of their amateur career.
Yes, definitely. These guys definitely earn the title of professionals.
Little uppercut there.
Well, there was a short lead hook landed by Mitchell. It seemed like it found a home very well.
And Taylor coming in, everything he is throwing is with absolute power and heat.
Well, like Taylor being the smaller guy, a level change would do him well. He's going over top, and he's not having any success with it. There's the level change. Mitchell just did it. He dropped to the body.
Something I like there from Mitchell was the sidestep and cutting off the cage.
By Tobias, and it did land, but didn't seem to affect Mitchell.
Mitchell here looking for the takedown up against the cage. Under 1 minute to go here in the first round of this featherweight bout. Elbows there from Tobias Taylor. His back is on the cage.
There you go.
Mitchell picks
nice
him.
Takedown by Mitchell.
Nice double leg there, Chris Mitchell. And he actually had mount there for a second, but unable to.
Well, I'm anxious to see how his ground game is. He's been known to be a striker. No, he's got. He needs to do something. Change his level, switch position. Okay, he's found his takedown.
Mitchell sucks in the hips again, gets another takedown here, scoring points in this first round, and maybe that's a little hint from him that he might be thinking this fight is going to go a long time.
Mitchell needs to get his head up. He needs head position. He needs to get his head out of there.
10-second bell warning there, as Chris Mitchell is going to end this first round on the top.
Taylor seems to be content to wait the round out in this position.
And Rick, action-packed first round, but how do you score that one?
You know what? It's the Taylor was definitely the aggressor of that. He controlled the pace of the round, but I will give it to Mitchell because composure, capitalizing on openings and general head movement positioning. He had it.
It seems like Taylor is trying to finish this fight with one strike while Mitchell is looking to score points. Did you see that little short left hand there?
Yes.
As we look at the replay here between these two.
Yeah, definitely Taylor's coming in to end this fight. Chris is a little more laxed on his feet. He's kind of looking for the combo, and he's looking for the opportunity.
And a great job there. What I wanted to mention in the first round was Chris Mitchell doing a good job of cutting the cage off and really putting Tobias Taylor where he wants him inside of the cage.
Well, the footwork of both of these guys has been really, really good. Chris Mitchell's a little bit better. He's lighter on his feet. He's got the head movement. Hands are up. Tobias is a little bit stiffer, but he's no slouch himself.
Glove touch here as we start the second round. Chris Mitchell in the blue and yellow. Tobias Taylor in the black.
Tobias moving a little bit better. He's still stiff in the head, but he's changing levels up and down.
You see that right hand of Tobias Taylor is cocked and ready to throw.
That lead, and you see Mitchell switching positions. Southpaw, orthodox, southpaw, orthodox. Seems to be very effective, and it's definitely working for him.
Front kick there from Chris Mitchell lands as he follows in another punch and looking for another takedown here against the cage.
And good base by Taylor. Oh, nope, I'm sorry. Not so good base by Taylor.
Really not, just kind of dragged him to the ground there.
Yeah. I spoke too soon.
Not as pretty as a lot of other guys, but it definitely gets the job done. Puts Chris Mitchell on the top here in the second round.
Well, at a professional level, Chris Mitchell's known for striking, and he's doing very well with the groundwork.
The guard of Tobias Taylor is open as he looks to push off of the cage with both his feet and his hands.
Chris needs to pass his guard. He's not in a good position. Tobias, now we this is not good for Chris.
Mitchell
Tobias has his legs locked. He's looking for some type of triangle.
Looked like he had an armbar there, but Mitchell doing a good job of stacking him, getting his elbow out.
He's in Lions guard. He's pressuring. Taylor can't really go anywhere with the position.
Taylor maybe looking to swing here for an armbar, though, off of his back. Mitchell stuffs that.
And Mitchell doing a good job of being heavy and keeping his base.
Good base here from Chris Mitchell. You see that right knee off of the ground. Wants to even try to get that left knee off the ground, posture up, and throw some big strikes here.
I mean, it looks like he's more positioning to strike. He's not really looking for a sub. He needs to get out of this guard, and Taylor's doing a good job of not sustaining any amount of damage. He's not really taking any damage here. He's kind of taking a breather on us.
2 minutes down here in the second round, and a couple of short little elbows there from Chris Mitchell landed, as he is doing a good job here in the second round positioning, looking to advance his position, throwing a couple of strikes. Tobias Taylor staying active off of his back, though. Chip Snyder giving it a good look, warning the fighters, you got to do something or I'm going to stand you up.
Keep punching. Don't let your arms get across his body.
Mitchell's doing a good job of controlling the pace of the fight, controlling around. He definitely needs to pass. His corner's yelling adamantly for him to pass, to do something here.
You can hear Mark Cherico and Kama Worthy both screaming in his corner for him to pass. Tobias Taylor closes his guard back up.
And he seems to be content to stay here. He's not really hipping out or doing anything to get himself out of the bottom position.
Maybe hoping for a stand-up here at this point, but Chris Mitchell doing just enough.
Well, I think Chris Mitchell's remembering he's a pro, and those elbows are allowed, It's a very hard transition, You tell yourself not to do it, and then all of a sudden you're allowed. So.
And Taylor now looking to use the cage to do a wall walk.
Taylor doing a good job of kind of like laying back and looking for an opening. Chris needs to pull those hips in.
Tobias Taylor back to one knee, back to his feet now, and looks like Mitchell may be trying to dump him here again already.
And then nice defense.
Good balance there
Taylor.
by Tobias Taylor.
Now Mitchell back against the cage. Okay, they're out. And this is where we want to see this fight. We want to see this standing up.
They separate.
Back control for Taylor.
I'm not sure what happened there,
knee,
but
knee. And Taylor's teeing off. Good recovery from Mitchell.
Wow.
Nice
turn of
exchange.
events there. Mitchell turned his back, almost had his back taken, and now actually has Tobias Taylor up against the cage, looking for another takedown. Under a minute to go here, second round.
Mitchell's head's a little low. He's not in a very good position to advance, and he has just been switched.
Taylor turns him back.
Nice elbow from Taylor. Nice elbow. Nice leg
Taylor
kick.
the aggressor here now. Mitchell again grabs a hold of Tobias Taylor, and
Chris needs to get his head up. He needs to get that head position properly. Taylor's just looking for an opening, and he's going to get it if Chris doesn't get his head up.
nice little knee to the body there from Tobias Taylor as Chris Mitchell once again looking for the takedown against the cage. 15 seconds here to go in the second round.
Nice leg kick by Mitchell.
Little trip there from Chris Mitchell, ends up on ground. Now he's in mount with just 10 seconds left to go.
Nice. He's full mount, and this is where he should have been earlier on in the round. His corner's yelling elbow, trying to remind him that, this is a pro fight. You are allowed to throw elbows and knees here.
2 rounds up, and is that 2 rounds down for Chris Mitchell on your scorecard?
I will say Taylor definitely showed his cards on that round. He's here to fight. He's not going to give this fight up easily. And Chris needs to put something together here if he wants to win this fight. So I might give that second round to Taylor.
I thought with the position and the ground and pound that Chris Mitchell clearly won that second round, but
yeah, the ending finish, he definitely proves resilient. But up until that point, there wasn't much shown. He definitely finished a round, but did that give him the points that he needed to secure the round?
All right, 1 round apiece on Rick Borowski's unofficial scorecard. We'll have to see how the judges scored it if we do go to the scorecards, but nevertheless, 5 minutes of fighting still here left to go. See if the fighters can decide this on their own before the judges have to. Round 3, Chip Snyder gets him started.
And a show of respect from these fighters. Like I said, I love to see that.
Little right hand there, yeah.
There was a short elbow landed by Taylor there on that exchange.
And you're right, it was an elbow. I did think it was right hand, but a lot of these guys are throwing elbows from range.
Wow, big miss. Let's see if Chris can capitalize this. And back to the guard,
Spinning back kick. Misses, and Chris Mitchell ends up on top here. A familiar position for him in this fight. Now he is in the center of the cage with plenty of room to work. Let's see what he does with it.
Well, the judges don't like to see, this happen over and over again. They want to see some action. Even though Chris is on top, he needs to do something to show dominance in this fight. To win this fight, exactly, just like that, landing those elbows. Now Taylor's still in this fight. If he can, regain his composure and get back up, he has a chance here.
If he wants to do something, though, he's going to have to open up his guard.
Yeah, laying and locking your guard
off of his back.
It's not going to be good for him. It's not benefiting him whatsoever.
Maybe looking to swing those hips out a little bit, as I thought he was going for an arm bar there for a second, but.
Of course, these guys, this is their first 5-minute rounds. Who knows?
Actually, a little cage grab there from Tobias Taylor, and he scrambles and gets out.
And he benefits
from that. Get away with it.
Okay, so he's looking for the knee. He's looking for
knee to the head.
He's looking for the knee.
Mitchell does have 3 points down on the ground.
Okay, he's kind of confused. This is where, you can tell his
inexperience body, but not to the head.
Chris needs to get up. He needs to show something.
The referee is going to stop this here.
Chris needs to get up immediately and show something. Okay, we need to move here. Okay, knee. Oh, that was illegal. Chip.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of knees.
Okay. This, we're having a. Chris needs to get up immediately. Tobias is throwing questionable strikes now. He's landed a few to the body. Good head position, Tobias. Mitchell needs to get up.
Nevertheless, Chip Snyder letting him get away with those, whether they were legal or not.
Yeah, Chip definitely missed a few there. This needs to be stood up. I think this.
Kind of an awkward position, though.
Very awkward, and Chris seems to be hanging on for dear life. And see if he can recover. I think he ate one of those knees pretty bad.
Mitchell actually now is again the aggressor here, the clinch against the cage. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the third round.
Mitchell in a dominant position here. Let's see if he can do something with it. He needs a takedown. He needs to get on top. I think something out of that flurry landed, and Mitchell, he's trying to regain composure.
And now
Chip stands it up.
Chip Snyder separates them under 2 minutes.
A little late on that. Okay.
Uppercut misses Tobias Taylor. Tobias throws the head kick.
He's showing fatigue. He's showing fatigue.
And it looked like
back
Mitchell
into the guard.
Blocked that, but he was actually staggered by it.
He was very staggered, and like I said, something landed. He's not recovered from.
He is hanging on here, though. Is still in the top position, and in a lot of judges' eyes, he's still winning this fight.
Yes, he's in control of this fight. He very well is. Come on, Chris. He needs to get up. I'll tell you what, Taylor is no slouch. This kid, he come to fight.
Both guys here not wanting to start their pro careers off with a loss. Chris Mitchell doing everything he can to try to drag Tobias Taylor back to the ground. Tobias back is on the cage here.
Mitchell's kind of holding on for dear life here. The guys both fatigued. This is the first 5-minute rounds.
Mitchell looking to take us back here. 50 seconds still.
Nice.
One hook in.
He's looked like he's regaining composure a little bit.
Has that arm under the chin.
It's attempting a rear naked choke. He has a hook in.
And he has this locked in.
He has it locked. It's under his chin. If he can get those hooks in, it's over. He got to get under the
full
chin
body
here.
lock here. And it's not completely under the chin as he has just a little bit of room to breathe here.
Well, Taylor's a shorter guy, and he has his chin down, and he looks like he's pulling out of it.
Doing a good job gritting, biting down on his mouthpiece and gritting through this. Fantastic action here in the featherweight
Taylor,
division.
Very resilient. Very resilient. Good job by Taylor.
As Mitchell again looking for that choke, going palm to palm now.
It's a little high. His chin's not sunk. Let's see. Let's see if these attempts will get him the points that he needs to win this fight.
Under 10 seconds to go here as the fight is going to end, it looks like, and we're going to go to the judges' scorecards.
I'm going to have to give this fight to Chris Mitchell.
Wow, was that a battle between these two young guys who, in my opinion, both have fantastic futures.
Oh, excellent fight, man. I'll tell you what, these guys, this is a dog fight. They did not want to give up this win. Neither of these guys did.
Test of attrition here.
What a debut. This was a pro debut that we just watched.
And with guys like this sport is in fantastic shape, in my opinion, when you have guys who are making their pro debuts and can look like that. We're going to look at more action here in the third round, Rick. I think we're going to see that uppercut that missed.
And then you see Chris's head movement, doing very well, still staying light on his feet even in this last round.
And I think the biggest thing
and
was
that landed. You see this, look, you see the brain shut off there. He hit that button.
And Tobias pounces, but Mitchell able to just barely recover there. And
well, he lost his composure a little bit, and I guarantee you Tobias will never make that mistake again.
But the big thing was that he ended up on top, giving himself time to breathe and recover, and we saw in the last minute of that fight almost lock in that rear naked choke and finish it on his own. Nevertheless, on my scorecard, I scored all 3 rounds for Chris Mitchell. I think you scored the second round for Tobias Taylor. But
I give it a close second round, but yes, this fight was definitely Chris Mitchell. He had the confidence, and he had the technical ability to pull this fight off.
And an extended period of time here after the fight ends. Again, judges making sure they carry all their 1s and 2s. And
yes. Good job by the judges tonight. They've been spot on.
And we have to give it up to Pinnacle matchmaker Dave Click and Joe Demore for putting this one together.
I'll tell you what, I mean, you don't get these quality of fights anywhere else. Pinnacle goes above and beyond what they need to do. They take care of their fighters, and they put on a great promotion. And believe me, I've been a part of some not-so-great promotions, and, you guys are witness to a treat here with Pinnacle.
And again, still George Phillips is still at the commission table tallying up these scorecards. And I told you, Rick, the longer they take, the bigger a chance there is of a split decision.
Oh, like I said, Tobias was controlling the pace. He may not have been landing much, but he was attempting. The judges like that. Some judges aren't so well versed as you and I, so you never know which way it's going to go. If you want to know the way a fight's going to end, you have to end it.
Right, and George Phillips does now have the official judge's decision. We will see which fighter will move up to 1-0 in his career. And George, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the scorecards, another round of applause for a hard-fought professional contest. The final bell has rung and your judges have spoken. Judge Andrew Atkins saw it 30-27 for Mitchell. Judge Todd Kruska saw it 29-28 for Taylor. And Judge Kevin Armstrong saw it 30-27 for your winner by split decision, now undefeated as a professional. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, no brotherly love, Chris Mitchell.
Mitchell picks up the split decision here, moving up to 1-0, and he gets his opportunity to talk to Dave Click after what was a fantastic fight.
And a very deserving win for Chris Mitchell.
Give it up for Tobias Taylor, representing Rising Dragon from Cleveland, Ohio. Tobias Taylor comes from a lineage of professional fighters. And I'm here with your winner representing Fight Club Pittsburgh, making that perfect 1-0 record, originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, now from Pittsburgh, Chris Mitchell. Chris, definitely thought you won that fight, man. Came in, I thought you imposed your will on him the whole entire fight. Great job, man. 1-0 as a pro. What are your plans?
First, oh man, I just like to thank Fight Club Pittsburgh, Greg, my coaches Dan, Lou, Chris, Bob, all those guys, my teammates, Mark. If it wasn't for Mark, man, I probably wouldn't be fighting. He comes and picks me up every day, takes me to the gym, so like much love to that dude. He real.
Who are you talking about?
Mark Cherico, the pride of Bloomfield. That's my homie right there, man. Shout out to Kama Worthy. He's a real cool dude. He helped me get ready for this fight, man. Like, nothing but respect. So, but like I said last fight in May, I'm one of the best fighters on this card, if not the best, and the best fighter in this area. So, listen, man, I'm kind of disappointed with this performance. I wanted to finish him. I dropped him in the first round. I didn't capitalize, but it's getting better. I mean, my confidence is growing, so my first pro fight, sky's the limit for me. I'm planning on going down to 35, so look out for me there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Mitchell from Fight Club Pittsburgh. I also want to bring attention to his 3 corner men, 3 Pinnacle Fighting Championship veterans, Mark, the pride of Bloomfield Cherico, Kama, the Death Star Worthy, and Justin, the Hawk Steve. 3 of the best fighters this cage has ever seen. Give it up for these 3, and give it up for Chris Mitchell.